today, the past couple times that we've done some things, we went over SEO stuff. We did some social, a little bit of social media stuff, but more so like more SEO things that were involved last time. We can obviously get you guys some of that information if you need to, because some of you were not there. But this time we're doing AI, and it's on everybody's tongue. It's everybody's talking about it, everybody's doing it. And it's not going anywhere. If anybody thinks it was a fad, that's the same people that thought Bitcoin were a fad. Maybe, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's not going anywhere. So how can we leverage this for our business, right? Like, people are post and do this and all these types of things where they show all day long of their successes and all the money that they're making, and then they're like, oh, but yeah, all you have to do is AI. So it's not, it's a little bit more involved in that, and that's how we're going to kind of start off, give you guys some tips, and then as always, we'll have ways for you to follow up and ways for us to get one-on-one with you if need be. So after, okay, you want to go ahead and take it from here?
Cool. Sounds like a plan. So this one is going to be a little different in that usually it's me kind of you're having to listen to, uh, you know, um, murder your ears the whole time. But I asked Eric to be a little more involved with this one because he does a lot with AI, and I do think it'll benefit you all to hear a little more from somebody who is in the same kind of line of work relatively as you all, how he's using it rather than it just be from the marketing perspective of why it's important. So we're going to be going kind of back and forth on these topics today. He's going to be able to put it a little more use case scenario for you of how he's done it in the past, some of the apps he likes. I'll be able to explain maybe some of the back end, the benefits of the marketing side. But it's going to be a little more conversational today. So we're obviously going to be giving you examples for use case on your social media posts. We're going to talk about email and text. We're going to talk about some advanced strategies and then a few other AI bots and programs that you may not know about. I think a lot of people have heard of Chat GPT, but that's one in a million now. So there's a lot of other ones you can use and roll up into your plan to get this started.
The
For
stat
the
I read the other day is every week 1,000 new AI apps and or services enter the marketplace. A
Yep,
thousand a week.
yep,
And
exactly right,
ChatGPT has been around and made itself prominent within the past year. And that
exactly
just
right.
goes to tell you how much is now
Yep.
available.
And we go into that exact topic at that very end as well. So you're exactly right there. So I'll kind of start off before I, like, get Eric involved on this particular one. But one of the things I want to talk to people about this particular section is not really the AI portion. This is where you can kind of generate some of your content. If you've never heard, a lot of people have heard of Quora or maybe Google Analytics. There's a really, really good a site out there called answerthepublic.com. If you've never heard of it, you can create an account for free. Of course, just like anything else, they have an upgraded paid account that you can opt into as well. But what this allows you to do is go in there and you literally type just a quick 2 or 3 word phrase. And then if you look at that second screenshot in the bottom right hand corner, what's going to happen is this wheel will kind of generate. And this wheel, and I can't zoom in on that, I apologize, but I showed you the one in if you look at the screenshot in the bottom left hand corner, you'll see the topic I chose. But what they'll do is when you type in that initial search or that initial query, it gives you the most searched for topics amongst what you asked. So it gives you everything Google is getting asked daily, weekly, yearly, whatever the case may be. And you can kind of scroll through these, and these are the topics that you should be talking about online because these are going to have the highest SEO value. This is what's going to allow you to know that the topics you're choosing are the things people are typing into Google and asking questions about. So then when you have these topics, this is what you're actually going to end up taking to the AI to create the actual content and material for you.
Hey
Um,
Jay, real quick, can you does everybody in here understand what SEO is? If not, just don't feel don't like go ahead and say yeah, raise your hand or whatever, but ask a question in the chat if you need to, so that way we can handle any questions. Go ahead, Jay. Sorry.
yeah, no, you're good. That's good looking out. And it's search engine optimization is what it stands for. It's how you can kind of help the search engine out, and they'll help you out and become more discovered because you're answering the questions that they get from the public, essentially. So once you've kind of chosen the topic, in today's example, you can see I chose what to consider when selling a home is one of the most searched for topics amongst the question of selling a home. So once you have that chosen, this is where I'm going to bring Eric in a little more. But what we'll do initially is we just take that, and this is Chat GPT. So Eric, I know you're kind of big into the prompts and how you ask these questions. So I don't know if you want to lean into this a little more and how you
Sure.
would kind of set up a question here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when dealing with AI, a lot of what I've learned in the past year and a half that I've been playing around with it, and actually most of us have been playing around with for a lot longer. We just didn't know it. Um, how many? There's a lot of people that use Grammarly, and Grammarly's been around for 5, 7, 6 years. Well, Grammarly is also AI, right? Alexa, all of the things that we've been using for a long time. So, anyways, at the end of the day, the prompting is where everything essentially takes place. And what I mean by everything is not just the command that you're giving, not just the instructions, but the learning. Okay, and the learning not just from you, but just from the AI learning of you as well. Let's see, like so in the prompt, understanding the local. Do you want me to get into the prompt itself, the
I
content?
can I can take from there if you
Okay.
want to, because
All
we
right.
are going
Yeah.
to get into advanced prompting a little
Oh
bit
yeah, I'll
later.
do those. Okay.
But one thing I wanted to point out here is you can see the prompt I've written out on the left. I've purposely left blank where you could put your own things in there, right? So give me 5 content ideas that hit the most common pain points for your target audience during a specific experience, blah, 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 blah. So that's how I wrote it up to Chat GPT for this example. Because if you remember, I in the previous slide, I opted to go with the topic of what to consider when selling a home. So when I used this prompt on ChatGPT, I said, "Can you give me 5 content ideas that hit the most common pain points for potential home sellers that want to know what they should consider when selling their home? I want to give them quick, simple tips that will build trust from a real estate agent's point of view." And then it, of course, as you can see, fires off 5 different topics. It gives me the bullet points or 5 content ideas with the bullet points under each. From a social media perspective, whether it's video, Facebook post, Instagram reels, whatever the case may be, these are all separate posts now. So this is a week's worth of content about one topic if you want it to be, or you could spread this out over 2 weeks or over the course of a month, whatever the case may be. This is really laying out everything that you need just from this one detailed prompt. And I think some people have a habit of making the question a little quicker and not getting into the details. And we'll get into that advanced prompting in a second. But that's how much detail you can kind of put into these engines and it'll do the job for you. So then we have to take it a step farther because we've gotten the content or the words created for us. But what about the actual graphics that we need for the social media posts? Let's say it's a Facebook post or an Instagram post. Canva has recently launched their own AI tool, and it does a lot of stuff. If you go to it, you're going to have an option on the left-hand side of Canva called Magic Studio, where they have a video guiding you through how to use everything. It can be video, it can be images, but it's as simple as putting in, the topic that you're talking about. In this case, I did home preparation and staging. And these are all graphics that they pulled up, and there was more I could have scrolled through. This is just a screenshot I took that I can use where these are ready to roll. If I wanted to edit any of parts of these, I could, but a lot of these they're going to just have the title ready for you so you can just kind of download it, copy paste it, put it in your post and you're ready to roll. I know Eric, you said you've used it for video a couple times if I'm not mistaken. I know you've
Yeah.
kind of played around with the Canva Magic
I
tool a lot.
love I love Magic Design. Magic Design was it was a quiet rollout for it, and I started using it. And it's literally like I've actually done my own photos, and I've done my own photos, which I'll share with you guys. Well, we're gonna send you guys like follow up like PDFs and stuff like that, so you guys can see some of these prompts and things like that. Anyway, but I'll share some of the photos that I did. Like I actually created people, like holding keys and getting a pair. It's like a set of keys. And the reason why I say that it's funny because like haha, I created people, but the cool thing is that there's no copyright infringement. It was my photo I created. So therefore, I can use it and never have to worry about watermarks or iStock photos on it or something like that. Like where I did with the video where I invited you guys, the video that I did on AI, I invited you. We'll get into later. but that had a whole bunch of watermarks all over it because of, the fact I wasn't going to pay for the one video. But yeah, Magic Studio is amazing. You can change the things that you want to, but at the end of the day, I you know, Canva's a marketing company. We are real estate. Why change with, we don't have Canva coming in and changing our contracts and changing our sales process, right? So why are we going to change what they're outputting to us? If we want to change maybe some color schemes and things like that, we Jason and I are going to do a thing on Canva. We already talked about it a little bit. So we can show you how to do that at a later time. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. And to his point, the whole purpose of this is like you should be able to just take these and run with it. You don't need to do much editing, if any, to this. It's meant to be take and grab and go kind of a situation. So once you've got your image or your video, whatever the case may be that you've chosen, now it's as simple as downloading that from Canva and then going in and creating the post. In this case, I chose Facebook just because I could quickly take a screenshot and show you how that would work. But when you're doing Facebook, as long as you've got a business page, which you should be utilizing, you do have the ability to schedule these posts ahead of time. If you connect your Instagram account to your Facebook business page, you can schedule for both Facebook and Instagram through the Meta Business Suite scheduling calendar. And that's what I'm in right now, or was on when I took this screenshot. And so then we just literally take the prompt from ChatGPT, the topic that we chose. We've got everything we need there. I put it in as my Facebook post. I add the Canva picture that I decided to utilize. I schedule my day and time. And now even when you choose the day that you want this to post, at the bottom of that section when you're choosing your day and time, Facebook will give you your ideal times that your clients are on throughout that day. So
Yep.
you don't even have to kind of, flip a coin and just randomly choose 1 p.m. If you choose, Thursday, or excuse me, Friday, July 12th to post this on, it'll say, okay, your peak times on Friday the 12th are 8 a.m., 2 p.m., and whatever the case may be. So it'll even give you proposed times to schedule it to get the most kind of attention to your post from the people that follow your page.
Yeah,
So
and that's
it's
it,
just
Jason. Let me jump in real quick. Look,
yeah,
guys, that is in the Meta Business Suite. Okay,
correct.
it's
So
not
only for
just
business
on your
pages.
yeah, it's not just on your business page itself, but you actually have to go into the Meta Business Suite in order to, when you go to schedule that post, where it gives you the times and the optimal. It'll actually bring up like a weekly calendar for you too, and
That's
show you
correct.
your posts from before, show your posts from coming up and things like that too. So
Yeah.
that's a whole nother class. Trust me.
And then once you have it on your business page, then you, of course, if you utilize your personal page for marketing, then you can share that page, to your personal page. You can put it into a reel, share it in any groups you're a part of, whatever the case may be, and how you like to distribute your content from there. But let's go ahead and climb into email or text for the astute among you. You might notice that a couple of these slides are going to look the same, if not identical.
Well,
And it's
why,
because
Jason?
we really want to hammer home that this is an identical process, whether this is social media, email, or text. You follow almost the exact same steps to a T outside of the very end. So we're going to fly through these parts because this is all exactly the same. And that's what we really want you to learn. Once you kind of learn the muscle and the steps and the workflow of this, you can take this to any marketing medium you want after that. It's really the last step that matters most, not the initial steps. Those are all the same no matter what you choose. So again, you go to a site like this, Answer the Public or Quora or wherever people are asking questions about the topic you're interested in. You get the results here. We're going to choose the same topic we did before, what to consider when selling a home. But instead of going to social media this time, we're going to put this in an email, or we can text message, as we mentioned. We did the same thing, right? We put the same exact prompt into Chat GPT. We have the same results. We're going to choose the same one. And this time, as I keep repeating, we're going to take it to email. So what did we do last time? After we asked Chat GPT to give us the actual written content, we had to go pick a piece of visual content. We go to Canva. So you could be doing all of this obviously at the same time, right? When you're planning this out, if you're planning a social media post about this topic, you may as well be planning the email you're going to send to clients at the exact same time because you're using the exact same information. And so once you have chosen that video or that picture or whatever it is from Canva, just like before, here's the only thing that's different. Now we're going to take it to whatever your email provider is. So certainly if you just use just straight up email software like an Outlook, you can do that. If you use for paid services, like we have Total Expert at Atlantic Bay, a lot of people use MailChimp. Outside of that, there's lots of email services out there. You can take it to that. I know if it's a text message situation, I know you can speak to this a little more, Eric, but you use Reach, if I'm not mistaken, which I've never personally used,
Yeah,
but I know a lot of our mortgage bankers love it.
Reach is amazing. It's something you guys should definitely look into because it's one of the only mass texting apps that I have found that will use your actual number instead of assigning you a new number. Okay. It's free to download. You have a couple, you can use a couple, I forget like the limitations on the free one, but I think at the end of the day, I think it's like $10 a month or something like that total, or maybe like something crazy cheap. And you can group all of your people. So, like, some of you may have gotten a text from me last night. I haven't fully gotten all of my people in reach yet. But I was talking with some other agents that I've known for years last night at like 10 o'clock when they got my text. They're like, hey, blah 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 blah. And then this morning I got text. So it is a great thing, especially for a real estate agent, your clients, right? Like, hey guys, just wanted to let you know I've got a blah 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 like coming up, boom, and not even just for what we're talking about here, just in general itself, right? Like you can send out blasts on properties via text because the reason why text and I bring text up is because it's so important right now. Our society has gotten to a point where email is something you can kind of hide behind and answer when you feel like you have time, right? Never used to be like that when we first had email. Everybody answered right away. Well, now phone calls, people just basically leave voicemail. They'll get back to you when they get back to you, if they even check their voicemail, right? But text, no. Now we're conditioned as a society to when we hear the ding, when we hear that, we check our phone right away. Karen and I were in an open house 2 weeks ago, and we're sitting there and we're in mid conversation. Goes ding. She like looks right down at her phone, and I'm like, and it used to be years ago that might have been considered rude. Now it's every single person does it. So why not harness that? Why not use that to monetize and be more successful for yourself? Go ahead, Jack.
Absolutely. So we've talked about social, we've talked about email and text, but we did want to talk about some of the more, advanced stuff. And you already heard him kind of reference it in the very beginning where he called it kind of, advanced prompts and advanced learning and things like that with AI. And that's one of the things to keep in mind is the more you play with a chat GPT or an AI app and the more detail you give it, it does real-time learning and remembers that when you come back with the account that you're logged into. So like the first prompt we have here, it's a little detailed, but I do want to read it out loud just to kind of be, to explain a little bit of it. I want you to act like a professional marketer. And this is you talking to the AI. I want you to act like a professional marketer. I need you to generate 12 topics for my clients focusing on the real estate market and why it's a great time to sell and buy. I want these topics to be relevant to what people are needing answers for. Before you generate these topics, I want you to get to know me, my business, and my clients. I want you to ask me 10 questions to better understand my business and clients. Confirm you understand the task and then begin to ask the questions. So that's several requests built into one, paragraph of a prompt to the AI, but it will do all of those things in order. And I know, Eric, you have done this before. It's going to ask you relevant, and maybe the first question you're going to feel is a little general, but they are going to get more and more detail, those questions throughout that sequence. And it
Yep.
will then apply that data in real time. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it really will give a different answer for you or me or anyone else in this call based on how we answered those 10 questions that
Absolutely,
they
absolutely.
gave.
And what this does for you is like Jason was alluding to, and we both touched on it, is the fact that AI is learning you just the same way that you're learning it, right? When you're talking to AI, when you get frustrated or when you get to the point where it's not giving you the results that you're looking for, it's not that AI is dumb. It's not that AI is broken. It's that you're not communicating effectively to the AI in a language or a manner that it understands. So think about it like this: when you ask somebody up the street, when you ask a neighbor, say, "Hey, can you grab my newspaper when you walk up to the mailbox?" Right? But if you're talking to AI, you're going to be more direct. You're going to be more matter of fact. You're not going to have any niceties. You're very, very literal and to the point. It's, I need you to go get my newspaper. And the more you take yourself and almost speak almost like a different language, The more you do that, the better and more specific your results are going to be.
Yeah. And the other thing that I like to show with prompt number 2 is that while it's not as detailed as prompt number 1, you can use this as your own kind of
Writer's
marketing
block,
team and like soundboard. You know what I mean?
like a
Whereas
writer's
before
block.
you'd have to get people together. Exactly. Where you'd have to a marketing team would get together and try to come up with a bunch of stuff. This is you can start big and then get more detailed on the way down. So you can say, look, I'm feeling stuck with my social post about put your topic in there. Could you generate just some creative ideas for me to use on Instagram? It's going to spit those out. And if you like one or two of those, then you reform a new prompt for it. And you say, using this content, can you write me 10 Instagram posts? And then you got the post written for you based off of the topic you know that you already like. So you can really have it be as wildly creative for you as you want, or down to very, very specific things and requests and tasks that you can then copy and paste as long as you've fact checked it to make sure everything is, accurate to the best of your ability. And so, it might sound a little weird and it's the last one we want to talk about, but I know Eric is pretty proud of these, but there are also AI sites to help you learn how to write prompts better for AI sites. So I don't know if you can talk a little more
Yeah.
about that, Eric, because
So
I know that's where
basically,
you've learned from.
yeah. So what I've learned, well, it's funny you say that, but all the people, when you start to, now that we're talking to you guys about AI and all your phones are right here, you're going to start getting all kinds of ads for people that are already doing AI and this and that. So I guarantee you're going to start seeing it. But I learned it from a TikToker, and it was so funny. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like the silliest yet makes the most sense ever. Is why not ask AI how to make a prompt for AI? Because if it's the smart, if it's the supercomputer that it is, right? So apparently somebody already thought of that and decided to create a few AIs. That's the whole thing that they do is come up with these prompts for you, so you can get a little bit more. You could speak to it a little bit more in your natural, I guess, vernacular that you would use or narrative, and it'll spit out something for you in terms of, okay, maybe if you're looking for this result, this result, this result, this is how you should do it. So both of those right there. Again, we're going to send this out to everybody, so you don't have to get rush to write that down, but both of those right there are the ones that that I've used in the past. And honestly, I've actually used Chat GPT to be perfectly honest. I've used Chat GPT a few times to give me a prompt for other AI tools, which we'll get into in a second.
And yeah, before we get you out of here, last thing, just talking about there's an AI for that, as I mentioned. Eric's been really good about finding a lot of not just Chat GPT, right? The other, he mentioned there's over 1,000 new AI tools going live every week. So I'll kind of let you run down a few of these. I know these are
Yep.
kind of your bread and butter. Let them know how
Yeah,
you like to use
absolutely.
it and everything.
Absolutely. So Trend Spotter is an AI that's basically like Answer the Public. It specializes in predicting emerging trends. Basically what it says there. Pretty self-explanatory. Um, a Wario is really really cool. I haven't had enough time to play with it as much as I've wanted to, but this is what a lot of influencers that are doing digital product sales, this is one of the tools that they're using. It identifies things and what to excuse me, basically try to sell when they become an affiliate. And what that the reason why it's relevant in our business is it allows us to see, allows us to take a measurement of people in other markets, right? So whether it's agents in Arizona or agents in New York or Miami, and things and stuff that they're doing on social media that's getting them the most feedback, getting them the most content, exchange and communication. Um, Repurpose IO is awesome. It is so freaking cool. So the thing that we were talking about before in that last prompt, we were like, hey, can you just come up with I don't know, like something for me? I'm a little writer's block, or hey, I did these posts last month, can you refresh these for me? And then it'll absolutely go in there and basically make it'll take, you can even upload a video of, like, say you did like a video for an open house, right? Or you did a video for something, and then you basically upload that video to repurpose, and it'll create and generate a bunch of content, repurpose it right? For you to go directly to your social media stuff. Instantly AI, again, I haven't used it as much as I'd like to. I've played around with it a little bit. Look at it from a standpoint of like, think of it as like a AI tool for MailChimp, for your Outlook, for your Gmail, whatever, and taking it and just like giving it like just an absolute like 2 shots of steroids and a bunch of like crazy like go-go juice and just getting it going. It'll spit out stuff for cold emails. You can put people together that haven't responded to anything, and we all have our CRMs that have drips. Well, this is like a drip, but like a faucet at the same time of a fire hose. It is insane how crazy powerful it is. In video is awesome, and I sent out the video the other day to everybody, and I know you guys got it as well. I literally did that video in video. It took me all of 10 minutes. Now there was watermarks and stuff on it because I didn't want to pay for the extra thing because it wasn't the point. The point was to show you like literally how easy and quick I could do this. And I mean that video in 10 minutes, I could put that video out, and that's just as good as a lot of marketing teams could do, if not better. So okay, so any questions you guys have at the moment? Does anybody have anything that I know we're at the time limit at 10:30. I try to keep everybody. The whole point of this is quick, easy, in and out. Again, you're going to get a PDF, and we'll send you the recording as well, so you can reference it back to it. But does anybody have any questions at the moment? You can unmute yourself and ask. If not, then I'll give you, let me know. Anyone? Yes? Bueller, Ferris, Bueller.
No, but thanks, guys.
Oh, there she is. Krista, how late were you up last night?
I went to bed at 1.
Oh, we shouldn't be talking. I was working under pre-approval last night at like 12:45. I was like, man, I gotta go to bed. This is crazy. I was like, plus I had a sweet tea at dinner, and anytime I have any caffeine after 7:00, it's there's no chance of getting to bed early.
Caffeine does not affect me.
Yeah,
but I'm off video because I'm not looking pretty right now.
Oh, stop. Okay, so well, it looks like there's no questions, so that's all right. Great. So I'm going to give you one last, the secret lab tip of the day is take action. Right? Just take action. Like at the end of the day, the reality is there's of the people that are on here, and it's not like we have a huge crowd today, but two of you are not going to do any of this. Right? So don't be a statistic. Let's take action. Come to me, come to Jason, and you say, whoa, how could I come to Jason? Well, when I send you the email, the recording and all that, you'll get his Calendly link. We created a special Calendly link for you guys, for you ladies, excuse me, so that way you guys can book a time with him. You can go over anything that we went in this one, the last one, anything in general. For those that are signed up in my TE system, if you're not, I'll get the invite out to you. TE Total Expert, where we have all our co-branded information and marketing stuff. Jason can tell you exactly how to get in and get out, right? Because it can be overwhelming. I mean, look, it can be overwhelming to me, and I've been working with Total Expert for 7 years. But there's ways. There's always ways around it. There's always ways to get what you're looking to get out of all the things. But the tip, the secret lab tip is just take action. Just do it. Because at the end of the day, if you don't, 6 months later, you're gonna be like, man, I wish I should have. I really need to. Like, stop. Let's just do it. And don't worry about how you look. Don't worry about how you sound. No one likes how they look, and no one likes how they sound on camera. I'm looking at myself right now, and I'm absolutely appalled. But it is what it is, right? Our next installment, we're gonna look to do kind of like an AI part 2. And we're going to break down the prompts and the content creation. So going more into the answer to the public, more into the Quoras, Google Analytics, those different types of things, so we can help you guys, channel and create that stuff in the beginning to help make it more effective. But, I'm going to be looking at your guys' social medias. I'm hoping to see some stuff. And if not, I will call you out. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're going to go into a lot more AI stuff next time, because this is such a crazy big concept that has so much to talk about that we couldn't possibly get it done in a half an hour, let alone an all day 8-hour event. So we're just trying to touch on some things that we feel like we can extrapolate from the stuff that we know and our experiences that can help you implement today. Like, why not do something today? Put something out there today. Remind people what you do. Because if not, you're going to see people that closing with someone else. Yes, Crystal, I'm absolutely going to send all the slides to you, as well as the contact information for Jason, and everything in a format that you guys can get to pretty easily. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. You guys are amazing. And if there's anything you guys need from me, you have my contact information. Like I said, later today, you'll have Jason's. Okay. Thanks, guys. Peace.